Okay, Stationery Fest. Up next, I would like to introduce author, artist, teacher, Samantha Dion Baker. Thank you so much for joining me. I want to first give you the opportunity to do your own introduction. Tell people what brings you to Stationery Fest.
Your introduction was great. You covered pretty much it all. I'd like to now say the umbrella of just artists because there's too many things. I'm also a graphic designer originally, and so I'm here because Daisy asked me to come. So, yeah, and I'm local. I live in Brooklyn, and I'm a big stationery lover, and I actually participated in the stationery show when I was a graphic designer. I made lots of cards a long time ago when there was a stationery show at the Javits. But this was so needed, and look at this. I mean, it's crazy. It's amazing.
Yeah, this is really impressive, and I love that you're here because as I was, reading up, getting prepared for my interview, I don't want to, blow your cover, but we're of the same generation, we're around the same age, and we both had different careers than what we do now. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, because I think a lot of people will find that interesting. Like, we're here looking at all the wonderful stationery, and a lot of these people, it's their main job or their side business, but you actually had a later in life career change into becoming an artist. Can you talk a little bit about what you did before and how that you transitioned into becoming a full-time artist?
So in my first book, Draw Your Day, I do tell the story, but it kind of pretty much happened through my sketchbook, like through the pages of my sketchbook, trying to capture memories and keep track of my kids' lives. I just got really comfortable drawing and expressing myself with pen and paper, and I had developed a following, and someone asked me to write a book about my process, and before I knew it, the design work was just gone, and I was only doing this other work. And I always say that my career is like 10 steps ahead of me, and I'm just like following it. And I'm like, I guess this is what I'm doing now. Okay, and I just follow it along, and it's been really great. Yeah.
It's kind of meant to be. It was like, I always say is, I can't not do this. Like, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I can't not do this. So I want to elaborate a little bit on Draw Your Day and how that concept came to be, what that was in the beginning, before it became an official thing, and then how you turn that into like really kind of like a core part of what you're doing, and then expanded on that even further.
Draw Your Day. Okay. Well, I always kept a journal and pretty much kept a sketchbook. I went to a fine art school and then design school here in New York. Eventually, because I went into design, everything was on the computer, and I just really wasn't drawing anymore. And after I had my first son, I just felt like a little burnt out from the computer and wanted another creative, like a new creative, fresh creative outlet. And I just started in the journal where I wrote down like, oh, Ian said this, or he rolled over today. I just started like doodling a little bit, and it started with letters and with lettering and playing with words, because that's what I was most comfortable with. And then it just developed into like more visual storytelling, and just like each day I was really trying to capture memories and grow as an artist, and it all kind of happened in these sketchbook pages. But it was very much tied to being a mom too. It all kind of happened, and now the Draw Your Day is still kind of what I do, but it's developed and evolved and changed, and I'm writing a fourth book now. Pretty much, on similar concepts, but just taking it further.
So this artwork and job transition and Drawing Your Day led you into a lot of teaching as well, right? So one of the things you're going to be here doing this week is teaching some of your classes. You also teach classes online. How has that transition? Was it easy to start teaching what you were actually doing in your journal? Like, I'm super curious about that, because there's one thing where you're drawing your day, sharing that online, but now you want to share that and teach other people. So tell me about the teaching process for you.
always been super, like, I guess humble, just really not, I never really had a plan to teach, so I think people liked my teaching style when I started doing workshops because I just kind of was very real. And I still have not strayed from this idea that there is not one way to do this. And I do not teach step by step. I do not say, this is how you draw this and this is how it all happens. I don't give people like step by step because it's so personal. So I don't know. It's worked and people take my classes. I don't know. Yeah.
So what does your drawing day look like? Like if you're waking up and you say, okay, I'm gonna go stroll about, what tools you bringing with you? Are you just kind of exploring, drawing what you see? Do you do anything specific? And I definitely want to see some of your sketches in here. And just tell me a little bit about going out. I mean, you have a pretty great city to explore, right? So what would a day look like if you said, today we're going to go create? What are you bringing with you and where are you going to sketch?
My core materials, which is my sketchbook, a pencil. I do use a pencil. A big eraser, and one of my pens, permanent pen, and that's it. Because usually I don't, and sometimes I'll have my paints with me, but I don't normally, like while I'm out and about and going around, I don't really have time to like sit down and paint. So the planning and the keeping track of things and like designing my page and around my experiences happens first, and then I paint later. And sometimes it's one thing, sometimes it's 20 things, and I'll do like a little roadmap of all the little things I did. Sometimes it's just like all I need to share is this one image, and that will bring me back.
It's wonderful. So I want to talk about your classes, and I know you have plenty of people sign up for your classes this week. What can they expect for people who may not be in class if they were thinking about, maybe in the future or following you online? What can they expect from one of your classes?
Well, like I said, I make it very clear that first, there's only so much we can accomplish in a short period of time, that a lot comes from dedication and practice. So I like to give inspiration and ideas based on anybody's skill level. So for this workshop, I did 2 examples of how you might go about drawing this. Before I got here, it might be a little different now, but I did it ahead of time. And one is just like writing, almost making little emojis. So drawing and writing at the same time. You don't really need a lot of drawing skills. And then on the other extreme, layering and drawing like more elaborate things and putting them on top of each other, mixing words with images. So it's really for everyone, all in between. And I just really encourage people to draw on their day and their adventures in their own unique way.
So before I let you go, I saw you walking around with your sketchbook here. So what would it be an example of, if you weren't doing this, if you weren't teaching, if you weren't talking to me up here on the stage for these great people, and you just have your sketchbook, what would you, Samantha, focus on walking around this room? I like to get in the artist's head a little bit, like you're very specific.
Yeah, there's not one thing I could draw. There is so much. I could fill a book with all the things. And there are also fun things to draw, like scissors and pens and ink bottles and all those fun things. So what I did was the things that I bought. I actually have a partnership with Lamy, which we couldn't have planned better. But yeah, I did a whole piece that's in their windows, their store windows right now, and I drew like a new Lamy pen, things that are personal to me here. And yeah, it's kind of like a very busy page because this is very busy. Yeah. So it's fun.
Well, it's very fitting that you're very busy. So I just wanted to thank you. Real quick, where can people find you? Tell people we're online, where they can go find you. There's obviously information on your classes here on the Stationery Fest website, but just real quick, where can people find if they want to get in touch?
Yeah, the best way lately, because I'm putting a lot of focus on telling stories, is to subscribe on Substack. My Substack is called Draw Your World. I also have a subscription there, so if you want to contribute and be a part of small meetups, I host meetups once every 2 or 3 weeks, and it's a great group, and it's like more of a way to connect with me no matter where you are in the world. And yeah, and then Instagram, S. Dion Baker Design. the design is still there from my design days, but I can't get rid of it at this point. So, and it's true. I still design.
Well, thank you so much. We'll let you go off and sketch this wonderful, beautiful crowd that we have going out here. I know it's fun for you. So thank you so much.